Breck. This is Coach Breck, University of Wisconsin. It gives me great pleasure to be able to introduce Daniel Freitag as he gives his senior speech. First got to know Daniel when he was a freshman in high school, and I could see right away the passion, the leadership, and the joy that he lives life with. I'm so excited to be his coach as he comes to Wisconsin next year, and I know you're going to enjoy his speech coming up here about how he found his passion. Good luck, Daniel.
But what y'all don't know is that he's inspired to be like Kobe being Brian. The amount of times I've seen this guy watch Kobe highlights in a day is really insane, but we're not gonna get into all that. Daniel is the most motivated and determined person that I know, and I know whatever goals or dreams he has in the future, he'll definitely reach them. And I also know for a fact that during this upcoming Breck season, he's gonna help me out a lot, because I might need it. So without further ado, introducing my point guard, Daniel Freitag. So, Mr. Johnson.
Before finding my passion, I was someone that I don't even like to think about nowadays. Someone with bad habits, no discipline, no work ethic, and no purpose for each day. But I did always have a love for basketball. The idea of making the NBA was always a dream of mine, but was not at all something I was seriously working towards or doing anything to achieve. At this time, I was the kid who always needed to post anytime I was in the gym to show everyone I was there, and the kid who wouldn't put in any work in the weight room or in the kitchen, but would blame my small and muscleless body on a fast metabolism and use the old reliable, I do eat a lot, I just can't gain weight. This was around 7th grade. I would get home from school, and instead of doing something that would get me closer to my dream, I would play Fortnite and eat cereal all day long. Not caring that I had played for 6 hours straight, not thinking to take a single break, and not doing anything productive with my day. It got so bad that I would be showing up late to basketball practices and trying to convince my mom that I don't have to go, just so I could sit around and play for a few more hours. Through many lessons, reality checks, and humbling experiences, I began changing my ways. In 8th grade, I started making small changes to my day. I was still playing Fortnite way too much, except instead of starting a new game right as my last one ended, I would do 20 push-ups in between. I started to change my diet slowly but surely as well. At this time, I was eating 3 to 4 bowls of Fruity Pebbles each day. So I began limiting myself to 1 bowl of cereal, and it had to be a cereal with a minimal amount of sugar. These small changes felt so hard and so unrewarding, but I did it anyway. I started to better myself just a little bit more as time went on. I got a gym membership and started a workout, even though I didn't know how to work any machines or do any exercises besides bicep curls. I started playing basketball more than just at practice. I worked on my ball handling each day that I didn't have the luxury of a hoop, and showed up to practice a little bit earlier to get extra shots up. All of these changes took time and patience to feel like I was benefiting from them. But looking back, working on myself with no results at first was something I needed to get used to doing, as it's such a big part of becoming excellent at anything. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. Freshman year was here, and I got into a semi-disciplined schedule. I was hooping around 4 times a week. I bought weights so I could work out every single day. I started noticing just how much bad food and drinks I was consuming, and began replacing those with better alternatives. But this still wasn't going to be enough to get me what I wanted. I was still under the radar. I even made a list of all the local Division III and Division II schools in my area and started sending emails out. No responses, not one. I asked Coach Sony if he could connect me with his alma mater, Augsburg, as a possible option. He told me I was better than that, but I just didn't really see it. Sophomore year was approaching, and I wasn't being recruited by any schools. So when Coach Sony told me that I had been invited to go to the Wisconsin Badgers basketball camp with a few teammates, I figured I was being invited out of pity. To my surprise, I couldn't be any more wrong. After playing well that day, I was given my first scholarship offer from the Badgers, and that day changed my life. This scholarship offer really put into perspective for me the potential I had. After getting a taste of success, I knew I wanted more of it. I received several other offers, including football offers, shortly after Wisconsin. These few months of success made me realize just what would happen if I stayed focused and never got content. The habit of missing out on things has turned into a way of life for me. Parties, holidays, and homecoming dances have all become things that I miss out on year after year due to the time that I'm spending chasing my dream. I made a rule to keep myself from ever feeling like I'm making the wrong decision by skipping these things. Anytime I'm aware of a party going on around me, I'll go to the gym to work out, and when I'm finished, I'll write down what the occasion was that everyone else was getting together for, so I can look back and see the sacrifices that I made for my dream. Missing out on fun now so I can celebrate something much larger later on is a decision that comes easy every time. Even listening to music has become something that's rare for me to do, as I would rather listen to David Goggins or Kobe Bryant speak on what has driven them to be great and listen to the lessons they have to offer. I can't remember the last time I had a bag of candy, watched TV in my spare time, or even went a day without making it productive. This may seem boring, lame, or just not fun to be around, and I'd agree with that opinion for most people. But for me, these are the extremes that I've learned to enjoy so I can get what I want most. It is no longer my dream to play in the NBA, as it's now my plan. The confidence I have that I'll make it to the NBA is a result of my day-to-day actions. My daily habits are so far from the habits I had just 3 years ago, and I owe it all to just finding my passion. I've kept some of the good habits that I mentioned previously, and I've also built more that I felt necessary. Some classmates and teachers have caught me writing in my notebook some days, and some have asked me what it is I'm writing. As you guys have your best friends that you lean on for advice, someone to listen to you, and someone you can go to when you have something you're proud of, I have my notebook. The idea that you're better off in no company than bad company has stuck with me for a very long time now. I'd rather keep to myself in that aspect than risk getting off track with someone else's bad habits and tendencies. Part of what I write in that notebook of mine is the checklist I have for every single day. The checklist that ensures that every day I'm drinking a gallon of water, stretching or doing yoga, lifting weights, getting 2 or more basketball workouts in, and documenting notes from the film that I watched that day, all in an effort to get one step closer to the goal of mine. I wanted to leave everyone with a quote from Kobe Bryant that has made the biggest impact on me. I was chasing perfection and excellence even though I knew I would probably never catch it. But just the fact that I was willing to chase it, I would defeat most of my opponents because most of my opponents would never chase something that didn't have any guarantees attached to it. Finding my passion was the best thing that could have happened for me, and I hope that everyone out there can find theirs.